like sitting there freaking being anxious over the whole freaking thing till the tablet got given or thrown in my mouth, and it's just like
disgusting. All right, welcome to the big show. Okay, so new topic: mold. Big mold, small mold, brown mold, black mold. Does insurance cover mold? Answer: no. Yes. Well, it depends. All right, so insurance companies have this thing. What they do, it's actually kind of clever. See if you can follow this. They have an implicit deny all arrangement in their insurance agreement that says all events like these are totally excluded. And that's to be the first, when you're reading the thing, it'll say, oh, that's not covered. And then you'll have a thing that's called an endorsement or declaration. So an endorsement, this is a kind of an interesting thing. An endorsement, if you have a mold endorsement, then what you have is the ability to limit coverage. And you're like, wait a second, I thought that means you get coverage. No, I mean, well, you do, you get coverage, but it's limited. This is a way to take the whole house policy, which for most people might be like $250, $500, $1,000, $1 million or something like that, and limit it to just $10,000 or just $5,000. And the crappy part about mold is that mold, how do I say this? I don't know how to say this. Mold is an annoying thing because it's used against homeowners in a lot of ways to indicate neglect, which, I mean, it could be that, but that's like saying, you know, the presence of blood automatically indicates you're a murderer or something like that. Well, it could indicate that, but it doesn't automatically indicate that. And the reality is there's a lot of reasons why somebody could have blood on them, or to get back to the story, why somebody could have mold in their house that has nothing to do with neglect. It's just a condition of moisture being above 60%. So back to the question. So is mold covered? In almost every circumstance of an insurance policy, the answer is no, it is not covered. Is ensuing losses from mold covered, even though like the condition of mold is itself not covered? Rarely. Sometimes. Some policies have this exact coverage. So what most people are going to need in an insurance policy for mold to be covered is an endorsement, which is going to be a policy limit. And most of the time with mold, it's $5,000 or $10,000, almost always. And that means anything related to the cleaning or disposal of mold. But the problem is also this: once mold happens, all the other things related to mitigation, drying, cleaning, disposal, etc., are also contained in that mold provision. So that's why I was saying at the very top, it's like it's a limit. It's the endorsement it's like this it's sort of like politics where they say something positive, you know, but it's really just a negative thing. They glitz it up with this positive headline, but it's really, you know, the Patriot Act. It's neither patriotic nor is it an act that anybody should be doing. You know, but whatever, that's a different topic and I'm not on that topic. So my point is like when we cover it, when we get deep about endorsements, we'll talk really deep about that. We talk about endorsements, this is just a way to limit coverage. That's all the point of it is. So is there ways around this? Are there legal ways inside of your insurance agreement to use the whole house policy when the conditions call for it? And the answer to that is yes. But with my company, I will just tell you, we work strictly inside of the fact pattern. The fact pattern is what the fact pattern is. So we're not going to lie and say, you know, this is covered and it really, you know, if there's mold and, you know, sort of skirt the issue. We're not going to do that. And I would suggest that it's not wise for you to do that either. And the reason is first of all, I have found, it has been my lived experience, that all insurance companies are adversarial to begin with. Customers don't realize this. Customers think, hey, I've faithfully paid my premiums and I'm going to make a claim, and I've never had a claim in 40 years. We had a lady, this is timely because we had a We had a woman with a certain insurance company that rhymes with a word where people create agricultural products. Oh, we're not going to talk about that, but I think you can probably put it together. And she said to us, I paid my premiums faithfully for 40 years. I've had one claim and you denied me. And by the way, in my opinion, in my professional opinion, it was not a legitimate denial, not at all. And I have the video and photographic evidence. So anyways, let me just wrap this up. The point is that when the fact pattern allows that water is the proper issue that requires mitigation and mold is actually secondary, then in my opinion it's best to ignore the mold. Don't bring mold into the discussion, because it's just a way to give an adversary an advantage. And they'll make claims like, oh, it's obviously neglect, this has been going on for two or more weeks. Well, they don't know that. It could be true, but I don't know that. And unless the customer declares on affidavit that that's true, then nobody actually knows that. So it's just a way to skirt the issue and get past customers. And most customers are unsuspecting and they don't realize. Anyways, that ends it. Hey, we're going to talk a whole lot about this, so stick with the series on wait before you file.